All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Mike Dillard, and I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here today on this training session, which is titled How to Build a Large Audience and Email List from Scratch. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that by walking you through the exact same strategy that I've used over the past 10 years now to build a list of more than 400,000 readers, which has produced an average annual revenue stream of more than $5 million per year. So you are going to want to take some notes. Make sure you grab a pen and a paper, have that handy. You're also going to want to shut down Facebook and Skype or any other websites and chat software that you might have open, because I'm honestly going to give you guys the keys to the kingdom here today. You are going to want to write down the examples that I'm going to give you, the rules for success that I'm going to give you. And as you're going to see, this is it. Like, I could not think of a more valuable topic to do a training webinar on, which is why I put, weeks into putting this session together for you. So I'm glad you're here. Pay attention, and we'll go ahead and dive right in. This will absolutely be a professional grade training session, which means that we're not going to be talking about amateur list building strategies like blogging, writing articles, or posting on social media 10 hours a day, because frankly, that stuff simply doesn't work. It's not working very smart. I will at least put it that way. Instead, I'm going to show you how marketing professionals build really big lists and do it without spending a dime out of their pocket. So if that's a skill that you would like to learn, then you are definitely in the right place. Now, I decided to put together this webinar today for you guys for two reasons. First, after looking back on my career as an entrepreneur over the past 10 years, I can definitively say that the single most important and valuable asset that I have ever built has been my list and the relationship that I have with the people like you who are on that list. And as you will see later, it has been the springboard that has allowed me to build successful company after successful company after successful company. And so if there was one final subject that I could teach and pass on, showing you how to build a list like I have was definitely going to be it. Now, for the second reason, this is the last webinar that I ever plan to hold. And as some of you may know, I'm actually in the process of building a hydroponics system that really has the opportunity and the potential to revolutionize the food industry. And I'm not going to dive into detail on that now, but I'll just kind of give you a teaser. But at the end of the day, we're looking at a system that can reduce the cost of organic food by 90 to 95%, reduce water usage by 90%, and basically allow you to grow all of the fruits, vegetables, and herbs you want in an organic format from the comfort of your home automatically. And so you don't really have to do anything to the system. It does all of the work for you. And the prototype is just about done. We're going to be launching here in the next couple of months. So needless to say, 100% of my time, my money, my attention will be dedicated to the launch of that product once it is ready. And for those of you who are a part of my other businesses, if you will, I'm going to absolutely continue to produce and grow the Self-Made Man podcast, which is definitely a passion project of mine. And I'm going to continue to support my mentoring students, but I have no plans to continue or grow my career in the online publishing space after this. So this is it. Assuming the Hydro Company does as well as I anticipate, this webinar represents my retirement from the online marketing space, which means this is the first and last time to show you how to start the same kind of business that set me free 10 years ago. So what kind of business is that exactly? Well, some people might say that it's an information publishing business because all of my products have been books and courses on topics that range from personal development to online marketing to investing, but in reality, I am actually in the business of building tribes of people who share a common problem or passion, and I am in the leadership business. And my email list of 400,000 plus tribe members is my business's virtual distribution channel. And the result is the single greatest lifestyle business that you can ever build for yourself. And in fact, here is why. I want to give you a few reasons why you want to build a large list, and following as soon as humanly possible. All right. So when you have a list, you basically have a business that is based around your biggest passion in life. And your primary job is to simply engage with and help other people from around the world who share that same passion. Second, you can run this business from absolutely anywhere in the world without any employees or an office. And it is a lifestyle of complete freedom. When you have a list, you can literally make income on demand by sending a single email, as I'm going to show you here later today. And as your list continues to grow, that income potential becomes absolutely incredible. It becomes unlimited, which is extremely important. And in fact, in today's webinar, I'm actually going to show you how you can turn your annual income into your monthly income within just a few months using a real-world example from my actual business a couple of years ago. Finally, when you have a list, everything you do in business in the future becomes incredibly easy because you have a built-in following of fans, customers, and supporters. So, for example, when I started the Self-Made Man podcast recently, it became the #1 show in iTunes in the health and self-help categories within 48 hours. I went from never having done a podcast before in my life to having the #1 show in my category in iTunes in less than 48 hours. How is that possible? Very simple. I just emailed my list and I told them about it. That's pretty much all there is to it. But obviously, that's an advantage that most people don't have. That is an advantage that you want to have. It is, in fact, the ultimate advantage when it comes to business. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do here today. All right? But in order to enjoy these kinds of benefits and have this power to walk into a new niche or new industry and instantly become the top brand in that world, you have to build your tribe. You have to build your list. So if I was going to hold one last training session, this was the most important topic that I could choose. All right? Now, when it comes to my qualifications, when it comes to teaching this topic, well, many of you have heard my story, so I'm going to keep this mercifully short, but there's a few of you who probably haven't, so I'll just give you a couple of the highlights. I started building my first list in 2005 when I was in my mid-20s, teaching entrepreneurs how to use attraction marketing strategies to build their businesses. And within 18 months, I was able to go from dead broke and waiting tables to making my first $1 million by the age of 27. Within the next 2 years, that list would grow to more than 200,000 readers, which generated an average monthly revenue stream at that point in my life of about $500,000 per month or $6 million per year. You can see right here, this was my tax return in that business in 2009. We did just over $6.3 million in revenue. And 2010, I actually turned my interest and my passion towards finance and investing. I didn't know much about the subject, but it's all I ever talked about. So I wanted to start a new business in that niche. And thanks to my existing tribe and my list, that business acquired over 8,600 new customers and made over $3.2 million in its first 7 days without spending a dime on advertising. So you can see that right here, around 8,700 customers and $3.2 million in revenue. And the really cool part is by the end of that year, we had grown that business to over $10 million in revenue, making us one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. And my list had grown to more than 400,000 readers. Now, over the past 10 years, my list combined have produced more than $50 million in revenue between those two companies. And obviously, it goes without saying that having that level of financial success has been great, but what has actually mattered the most to me is the lifestyle that this kind of business has allowed me to live, which is frankly one of complete freedom. There are some really big moments in my highlight reel that I'm incredibly grateful for, like spending 2 weeks on Necker Island with Richard Branson. I spend a week with him every year, helping him and his Virgin Unite charity up there, racing in the Mint 400 every year with Patrick Dempsey, or having the freedom to live in Aspen for a month or two every summer to escape the heat that we have down here in Texas. And as cool as these experiences have been and these opportunities have been, I have to say, what I've been most grateful for that I've gotten from this business and this lifestyle has really been the little things. And by that, I mean the freedom to wake up every morning whenever I want, or to be able to buy food at a restaurant or clothes at a store without ever having to look at a price tag. And I have to say, nothing makes you feel more wealthy and more grateful than those little experiences that you can have on a daily basis. On top of that, it's been absolutely amazing to have the ability to provide some very substantial support to causes that I care about most, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Charity Water. And so in 2012, we were the Corporation of the Year here in Texas for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We personally sponsored, my business partner Robert and I personally sponsored the wishes of 14 area children here in Austin, Texas, which was amazing to be able to bring their wishes to life. And this year, I became a substantial backer of Charity Water, which is an absolutely unbelievable foundation. And I am one of 100 members that they have there called in an organization called The Well, which basically finances all of their operations. And among some of the other Well members that you might recognize here besides myself are Tony Hawk, quarterback Matthew Hasselbeck, Jeff Foxworthy, Matt Mullenweg, the founder of WordPress, and Gary Vaynerchuk, who is obviously big in the social media world. And so having the opportunity to be a part of these organizations and a part of this amazing group of people is just unbelievable. So if there is a blessing that I could pass on to others in my life, it would be how to create this kind of lifestyle and this kind of business, because the opportunities are endless. It's just been absolutely amazing. So with that being said, let's dive into the actual presentation, and here is what we are going to cover today, all right? So first and foremost, I'm going to show you how to take your greatest interest, passion, or area of expertise in life and turn it into a really simple, profitable lifestyle business. And I'm going to show you how to do that by building a huge list of email subscribers who are passionate about the same problems and challenges that you are. I'm going to show you how marketing professionals like myself have built our list to 100,000 people or more extremely fast, within the case of months, if not a year at the most, and do it without spending a dime out of our pockets, so you can learn how to do the same thing. And if that sounds too good to be true, I totally understand, but I can assure you that it is absolutely not, and I'm going to show you exactly how that is done here today. Now, on top of that, I'm also going to show you how do you automate this entire marketing process so it will produce new list subscribers, customers, and revenue for you 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, automatically allowing you to protect your lifestyle so that you're not on social media, pounding away on the internet 12 hours a day, basically throwing mud against the wall, seeing if it'll stick. We are not going to be talking about that at all right? In addition to that, I'm going to show you which email service I use for the best delivery rates so that you can use them as well, and I have used them all. This is some unbelievably valuable resources, trust me, with lessons learned the hard way and a lot of money thrown down the drain to figure this out. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how to create an incredibly rewarding business that will change the lives of your customers for the better and that will make you feel amazing about what you do every single day. All right, so with that being said, I have one more piece of housekeeping that we absolutely have to go over, and then we're going to dive into the training. So, big question, first and foremost, is this for you? Is this webinar and is this training session for you? Is this business for you? Well, if you truly want to start a business, but you haven't been sure where to start or what to do, this is absolutely for you. If you have a huge problem in your life that you want to solve or a huge passion that you'd love to turn into a business, this is definitely for you. If you want to learn how to quickly build a business that produces monthly income that could exceed your annual income, this is for you. If you want a simple business that you can run from your home or your local coffee shop and that doesn't require you to have an office or build a large team, this is absolutely for you. And if you want to build a huge following of hundreds of thousands of people and become a celebrity in your own niche and in your own passion, this is absolutely for you. Now, with those items being said, we do have some house rules, and this might not be for you if you're not in agreement with these, so these are important. Rule number one, I absolutely refuse to pander to anything that resembles or supports a get-rich-quick mentality. So if you are looking for some kind of do-nothing type of business that will magically make you rich, I am absolutely sorry to say that you will certainly not find that here, frankly, nor anywhere else, because it does not exist. Second, I hate gimmicks. If you think that I'm going to show you some magic software that scrapes people's emails off of their websites or Facebook or anything that even remotely resembles that, you are going to be very disappointed, because I absolutely detest that type of thing and the people who use gimmicks like that. So what we're going to be talking about here is really turning your name and your reputation into a business with a huge following. And in order to be successful at that process over the long term, you have to approach your life and this business with a very strong sense of honesty and integrity. So if you don't have those things, then this isn't going to work out for you. It's just not. Building a huge following is a huge responsibility. What I'm going to teach you today is a real business. It requires real work, and it provides value for real people and real customers. And ultimately, the only way to get what you want in life is to help others get what they want. So if you don't have a sincere desire to help other people and deliver an incredible amount of value to others, this just isn't going to work out for you in the long run. It's just not. It's going to be a waste of your time and effort. So make sure that is a trait that you have in you, is to go use your abilities to help other people. Now, finally, I have absolutely thrown some very big numbers at you here over the past few minutes. I've told you that I made my first $1 million in my 20s. I told you that my second company made $3.2 million in 7 days, and that my companies have produced over $50 million in revenue over the last 10 years. And I think it should be fairly obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. My results are not even remotely typical. It took me 6 years of failing over and over again before I ever made a single dime as an entrepreneur. I talk about that story all the time. So while I can teach you what I've done to build my list and my businesses and essentially give you the roadmap and show you what to do with it, the results that you get are completely up to you. And while I hope that you surpass my levels of success, as a handful of my students actually have, I'm not going to remotely suggest or claim that you're going to make a dime, okay? And frankly, at the end of the day, I think it's very safe to assume that the vast majority of people who watch or, training sessions like this or buy books or courses will never get any kind of results or make any money at all. And unfortunately, most people who buy into, programs like that on how to build a business or for whatever reason it may be, it's the same reason that they buy a treadmill, which will never get used. They want the end result, but at the end of the day, they're simply not willing to put in the work or the time and the mastery to make it happen, okay? So obviously here you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink, and unfortunately, that's just a part of life in any aspect. That's why there's very few doctors in the world. It is the same challenge there as well. So if you're still with me after that little rant, let's dive in and get to work. All right, so step number 1, how to build an audience and an email list from scratch. So the first step to building a huge following and a list is to really understand the business model in the first place, because most people actually don't get it. So let's start there. And I want to use my friend Christina as an example. And I've known Christina since college, and today she's a full-time mom with 2 kids and has spent the past 2 years writing 2 books on parenting tips for new mothers, which are absolutely phenomenal. And now that her books are done, her primary goal has been to sell those books and to bring in some revenue, obviously. And I think most people, especially small business owners, would agree with that logic. You create a product or service and then you focus on selling it. But there's a reason that the average annual revenue for a small business in the US is only $44,000 per year. That's total gross revenue. That's not income. That's sales. And there's a reason why mine have made over $50 million in the past 10 years, over $5 million a year. So in the beginning of this process of becoming an entrepreneur, Christina thought her business was selling books, and most other entrepreneurs would feel the same way. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not. Her books are a product, but a product is never a business. Now, here's what I mean by that. Starbucks, as of this point in time, has over 23,000 locations in 63 different countries this year. Most people think that Starbucks is in the coffee business. Well, they're not. Coffee is their product, but their business is actually distribution and real estate. And those stores represent Starbucks' distribution channel. So television is a distribution channel. We've got YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All of these entities are distribution channels. And yes, obviously, email is a huge distribution channel. So these are mediums in which marketing messages flow and goods are sold to the participating audience. So if Starbucks wants to sell more coffee, they must expand their channel by opening more stores. And without those stores, there is no business. Same with Chipotle, same with Walmart. All of these companies have figured out that their real business is their distribution channel through which goods and services are sold. So we need to remember that as well, as it is really the key to building a business that makes $400,000 in a week instead of one that makes $400, okay? Now, the miracle of building a business in the internet age is that it allows a single person like you or I to build a massive global virtual distribution channel with nothing more than a laptop. So get this, right now, there's about 400,000 people from around the world who subscribe to my email list. I have, in addition to that, the ability to reach out to 47,000 people on Twitter, over 14,000 on Facebook, 5,000 on YouTube, another 10,000 on iTunes with my podcast. So think for a moment and imagine how many stores I'd have to open in any given industry to get access to a total of 474,000 people who are interested in what I have to offer. Well, the average US Starbucks serves around 400 customers a day. So if you think about it, every time I send out an email and post a message on my social media channels, I have the same reach, little old me, as almost 1,200 Starbucks locations. And I'm just a 37-year-old dude sitting in front of my computer at my house, which is absolutely crazy to think about. It's unbelievable. So thanks to the internet, you and I, at the end of the day, have the opportunity to create our virtual distribution channel that spans the entire globe for next to nothing. Now, once you've started to build your list, and I'm going to show you obviously how to do that here in just a minute, you can start to sell products and services to your audience just like Starbucks sells coffee to theirs. Now, I want you to think about it. If you still don't believe that Starbucks is not in the coffee business, what would happen if you took away their distribution channel? What happened if you kept the coffee and you put it all in a big giant warehouse, wherever it's made, and you got rid of their distribution channel? What would happen to Starbucks as a business? It would go away. It would not be in business. So that's why they're not in the coffee business. They're in the distribution business. Now, on the other hand, if you kept all the stores and got rid of the coffee, well, obviously their business is going to decline, but you could switch out the entire distribution channel to a new product such as tea. And it might not be as big of a business, but it'll still be a business. So what we're after here is the distribution channel, and that's what I'm going to teach you how to build here today. All right, so moving forward, there are two primary ways to generate sales and revenue with your list. First and foremost, you can create your own products, which is an extremely profitable thing to do. And these can either be physical products like boxes of tea. It can be digital products like ebooks, mastermind groups, live events, whatever you want. Personally, I've always been a huge fan of digital information products like ebooks or courses or membership websites because they're essentially free to produce and have a profit margin, that's well over 90% in most cases. And a great example of this is actually when I started my first list in 2005, which consisted of entrepreneurs in the network marketing industry. I realized that I had an opportunity to create some courses on subjects like recruiting, personal confidence, and lead generation that would be extremely beneficial to my audience. These are all skill sets that they wanted to learn. So over the course of the next 7 years, I'd end up producing around 10 different courses on all of those different topics, which I then promoted to my email list. And the result was over $25 million in sales, which is just absolutely amazing. It's akin to turning your thoughts into money. It's just unbelievable when you can write down your thoughts on paper on the internet and exchange that for sales and for revenue. And so that is method number one. Method number two to generate revenue is to promote other people's products as an affiliate. So Amazon.com pioneered the concept of affiliate marketing nearly 20 years ago, and today is one of the most widely used sales strategies in the world. So here's a quick example personally of how you can make a significant amount of money when you have a list by simply promoting other people's products. So a few years ago, a gentleman by the name of Mark Ford launched a new investing newsletter. And Mark is an iconic entrepreneur and investor who has written a ton of best-selling books under the pen name Michael Masterson over the years. And he is definitely someone that I consider a mentor. So when he launched this new publication, I was absolutely one of the first to line up and buy it. So after a few months went by and I got to see how great the content was, I reached out to the company's CEO, Tom Dyson, and I asked him if I could promote their newsletter to my list. And they said yes, and they were willing to pay a commission on every sale that I made, or every referral, if you will. So during the course of a week, I sent out, in just 1 week, I sent out 4 emails promoting the newsletter to my subscribers on my email list. And as a result of those emails, I sold over 5,000 subscriptions, and I made over $419,000 in commissions in a single week, simply by telling my readers about an awesome product that I personally used and loved. So think about that. All I did was write 4 emails telling my list how much I loved a product and that I thought they'd benefit from it as well, and I made almost $500,000 of pure profit in a week. That is the power of having a list and a distribution channel. So how was that possible? What was the real reason that campaign was so successful? Was it just because I had a list? Was that it? Well, the answer is actually no, and this is really important, so please make sure that you write this down. The number of people or the size of your list is, for the most part, irrelevant. Okay? A list in and of itself is just a bunch of people's names and email addresses. A phone book is a list, but as far as we're concerned, that phone book has no value because there's no relationship with those people. They're just a bunch of random names. They don't know you, you don't know them. So the actual value of your list-based business is entirely dependent upon two things: the quality of the relationship that you have with the people on your list and the amount of trust that they have in you. This is why you can't go buy a list. There is no relationship. People buy from those that they trust. You can literally go into Google and type in buy list. And you can buy a list of 1 million names for $100. Why is it so cheap? Because it is absolutely worthless, okay? There's no relationship and there's no trust. So the one and only reason that my readers purchased Mark's newsletter is because they trust me. They know that if I endorse something, it's because I truly believe in the product and that it's going to help them. So over the course of months and years, I've earned their trust and therefore the ability to ask for the sale. And this is why I can send out a few emails and make $3.2 million in a brand new industry in the span of 7 days. So if you want to have that same ability in your business, here are what I would consider some unbreakable rules that you need to live and run your business by. Write these down. Okay, so rule number 1, never trade the relationship and the trust that you have with your readers for money, ever. All right, this is also known as your reputation, and you only have one, and if you burn it, you ruin it. So make sure that you never, ever, ever trade trust or your relationship for money, okay? Rule number 2, always remember that you are in a position of leadership that is based on service. So if you wake up every day with the attitude that you're going to help the people on your list attain what they want in life to the best of your ability, you're going to do very, very, very well. Rule number 3, never promote a product or service that you haven't personally used. So if you're going to recommend something to them, make sure that you've gone through the entire purchase experience and the entire product yourself beforehand. If you wouldn't send your mother there, then don't send your list there. Very plain and simple. Make sure you go through their entire marketing funnel, see what the experience is like before you ever promote a product. And finally, rule number 4 is when you screw up, admit it. You're human, I'm human, we're going to make mistakes. When that happens, just be completely open, public, and transparent about it. This will actually strengthen the level of trust between you and your tribe, and they will forgive you for whatever happened because they'll value your honesty more than your mistake, but they won't forgive you if you lie to them and deceive them, okay? So don't worry about the mistake, worry about the honesty and the transparency because that's where the ultimate win is for you and for them. All right, so now that we know we want to build a list, and where the value of a list actually comes from, let's go ahead and dive into the good stuff and let's start talking about how to actually build that list. Okay, so this brings us to step number 2, which is choosing your niche. Okay, so your list or your tribe is going to consist of people who share a common interest, passion, hobby, goal, or challenge. So the very first thing that we need to do is figure out which industry that we want to build our business in, or what topic do we want to build our business around and our list around. And that's one of the greatest aspects about this business model, which is that it can and it actually must be based on whatever you're most passionate about. Now, personally, my businesses and therefore my list that I've built have always been inspired by the biggest personal challenge that I've had at the time. So not necessarily a passion, but a challenge. Now, for example, my biggest business was inspired by the fact that I'd been in the network marketing industry and I hated the fact that I had to go sell things to my friends and family members, and that I had to invite people to hotel meetings, or that I had to buy expensive leads and twist people's arms into joining my opportunity. It just didn't feel good. So basically my problem was that I was in an industry that was based upon talking to people either in person or over the phone, and yet I'm very introverted and I really don't enjoy doing either of those. I don't enjoy talking to people all day long, in person or over the telephone, which meant that I had to come up with a solution to that problem or go back to the drawing board and throw away the last 5 years of my life. So I asked myself a question, which is, what if I could get 10 to 20 people to call me about my business every day or my product? What if they'd already gotten all the details before we spoke and they just had a question or two before they decided to buy? What if I could become the hunted instead of the hunter? Is that something that I would enjoy doing? And the answer was absolutely yes. It's not that I didn't mind talking to people. I didn't like selling people. It just wasn't enjoyable. So I started looking for a way to do that, and the solution came in the form of a book written by marketing legend Dan Kennedy called Magnetic Marketing. And the premise was very simple, and yet it changed my life forever. In the book, I learned that you can attract people and prospects to you, quote unquote, magnetically by teaching them, by educating them. So if you position yourself as a teacher and as a source of valuable information, then you will attract a crowd as any expert does in their field, just like I'm doing with you guys and this webinar, right? That's why you're here. So that's what I did, and it absolutely worked. I ended up using those principles to build my very first successful business in that industry for the first time. And I ended up then writing a training manual about what I was doing to give to my teammates, if you will, in my group and my team and other people in the industry. And I called it Magnetic Sponsoring. And I put up a list building page, or a capture page as it's also known, which gave away 7 free training videos on attraction marketing. And this is a picture of that page here that I lovingly taught myself how to build by hand, with HTML for Dummies, or, a book and course like that back in the early 2000s. And I wrote all of the copy myself, and I made the little website. And that was the beginning of that business, and a list that would go on to grow to over 200,000 people. All right, so that was the start of my careers based on that challenge. Now, my next company was inspired by the fact that I had absolutely no idea how to invest the money that my business was making, and I couldn't find any truly wealthy role models to learn from. So I turned that pain and that challenge into a second business and a new list, which went on to grow to more than 400,000 people in the next, I'd say, 24 to 36 months. So right now, I want you to think about what your biggest problem is, your biggest passion, your biggest challenge, your biggest area of expertise. What do you want to build a business around? This is your opportunity of freedom to really pursue the life that you want to pursue, okay? So what would give you energy when you wake up every single morning? What do you want to work on? And I want you to first and foremost understand that opportunity is literally everywhere, and your options are literally endless. If there's a group of people who share a passion, a problem, or an interest, that's all you need. You can build a business there, and I'll just give you a couple of examples. My friend Grayson Goff. Grayson is a professional paintball player here in Austin who's won the World Championships about 2 years ago. And obviously, he has a lot of passion and expertise for the sport, so he decided to turn that into a business called bkipaintball.com, where he sells training videos and coaching sessions. Then there's my friend Kurt, who's built a list of more than 45,000 entrepreneurs over the last year or two who are interested in learning how to advertise on Facebook. And that little list of 45,000 people has gone on to produce more than $1 million in revenue over the last year or two. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. You can build a business around any of these topics: cooking, yoga, fishing, collecting toys, martial arts, fashion. Huge fashion blogs out there right now, and distribution channels on YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest for fashion, where young girls in their teens and 20s are making literally millions of dollars. Collecting toys, gardening, boating, video games is a huge growing niche right now. Literally anything that you're passionate about, you can build a business around, okay? So take your time and think about what that would be for you, and make sure you really understand it, because that's what you're going to be building a business around for the next couple of years. All right, cool. So once you've got an idea about that, or at least you've got the wheels spinning in your head about your potential niche, let's dive into how you actually build your list like a marketing professional, which is a key part of that title. Okay, so in order to build your list, you're going to need 4 things. And during this section, I'm going to give you some resources. Please don't worry about checking them out now. This is the most important part of today's webinar. I don't want you to get lost going off and looking at other websites when I give you these resources, because you're gonna miss the good stuff, okay? I will give you a email after the webinar today with a list of these resources and links so that you'll have them available to you, and you can pay attention right now as we go through the actual training. Okay, so first and foremost, you need traffic, and we're going to dive into that here in a minute. Second, you need a capture page or a landing page, and this is a very simple one-page website that requires your visitors to subscribe to your list by entering their email address in exchange for something of value in return, and that could be a free series of training emails, a free ebook, a free audio or video of some kind, a free PDF report, whatever it may be. You want to give them something for free that has a lot of value in exchange for that email address and for subscribing to your list. So a great example of that is this page. This is a capture page that I use right now to get list subscribers for my mentoring program. And so in exchange for subscribing to my list, I'm going to give that person a series of 7 free videos that contain some of the most valuable lessons that I've learned over the past 10 years within my career as an entrepreneur. Now, what's really cool these days is that there is an amazing service that you can use called leadpages.net that will actually let you create your very own capture pages using customizable templates that are proven to work. They give you the conversion rate numbers and that require zero technical skills. It's literally drag and drop, and within 60 seconds, you can actually have your very own capture page complete and done. It's absolutely amazing. There's no need for code. If you're not a computer expert, totally doesn't matter. If you can type on your keyboard and drag an image onto your desktop, you can create a capture page in literally less than a minute. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, the third item that we need is an email autoresponder service. Now, this is the actual service where all of your email addresses from your subscribers are, one, securely stored, and that you will use to send out personalized emails to the thousands of people who are on your list at once. So the emails that you got from me leading up to this webinar, getting you ready for it, confirming your registration, all of that stuff all come from an email autoresponder service. I'm obviously not sitting there typing, those emails away to everybody personally all day long. So I've used almost every major email service provider in the industry over the years, and the one that I'm using today is absolutely my favorite. It's called MailChimp.com, and it is the easiest autoresponder service that I've ever used, and you can set an account up for as little as $10 per month. So all of the emails that you've gotten, from me, if you're on my list or if you subscribe to the Self-Made Man podcast, whatever it may be, if you get an email from me, it's coming from my MailChimp account. And one of the biggest, pieces of the email puzzle is delivery rates. Are your emails actually getting delivered? Are they going to the spam or junk folder? What's happening to your emails when you send them out? So I actually tested delivery with a third-party service called Mail Monitor. The website is mailmonitorapp.com. And again, they're completely unrelated. And you can go out and test the actual delivery rates of any email autoresponder service out there in the world to find out what it's really doing. And as you can see here, my emails were successfully delivered to my readers' inboxes instead of the spam box, which is really what matters most, 100% of the time for all of the major providers. Unbelievably valuable. And so I've been really happy with MailChimp, and that is who I use today. All right, and the final thing, the fourth thing that you need to build your list is money. And the more money you have, the better. So if you want to build a large list and you want to do it quickly, you're going to need cash. That's simply the reality of doing business. And I can hear the collective groans and moans out there because of what I'm saying, but hold on, stick with me before you jump to any kind of conclusions or just, say, well, I guess that counts me out, and exclude yourself for building the business of your dreams and changing your life because you don't have a lot of money right now. Hang in there with me because I've got you covered, okay? Remember, when I first started building my list, I was completely broke and waiting tables. So I promise you, I do have an extremely effective solution for you that will solve the money issue, but nonetheless, it is a requirement, all right? We're just gonna go about getting that money in a very unique and effective way. So with that being said, let's circle back and let's go into more detail with step number 1 or item number 1 and the beginning of this process, which is traffic. Now, obviously, one of the biggest challenges most people have when it comes to building a list is getting traffic, or in other words, lots and lots of people to come to their website, to come to that capture page so that they can get that email address. Now, when it comes to getting traffic and building a list, there's the amateur way and then there is the professional way. So amateurs try to build their list using traffic strategies which require an incredible amount of time and effort, but that produce little to no results 99% of the time. This usually consists of activities like making 20 to 30 posts a day on social media sites like Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, posting on forums, or writing articles and blog posts that no one will ever find or read. All right, it is a very long, grueling battle that might result in 1 or 2 new list subscribers per day. So in other words, it's not going to work. And if this is what you're doing, well, you probably know that already, and you know that you're wasting your time. Now, on the other hand, if you approach the list building process like a marketing professional, absolutely amazing things are possible. And in fact, my investing newsletter generated up to 1,800 list subscribers per day, or over 20,000 new subscribers in a single month. You can see here, these are our number of daily new subscribers, over 1,800, and it looks like we average right here about 800 or 900 new subscribers per day. And within 2 years, we had built a list of more than 400,000 active readers. So here is how that is done. Make sure you have a pen and paper handy, okay? So remember your capture page, the landing page that we talked about, and this is an example of one here from Lead Pages as well. Obviously, this is just an example screenshot that I took. And when you click on this button, a little window pops up that says, please enter your name and email address so people can subscribe to your list. Well, a great page will have a conversion rate of about 30%. So that means that for every 100 people who visit your website, 30 of them will opt into your email list. And that means you have a 30% conversion rate. So let's do the math and start to look at a few examples. Now, if your website gets 100 visitors per day, that's 30 new email list subscribers every single day. Hey, that's not bad. That's about 900 per month, or about 11,000 subscribers per year. It's not great, but man, you could definitely make a multiple five-figure income with that. I'd say, gosh, $30,000 to $80,000 a year with a list of about 11,000 people. Well, let's keep going. If your website gets 500 visitors per day at a 30% conversion rate, you're up to 150 new subscribers per day, 4,500 per month, and 54,000 subscribers per year, which is getting awesome. So that's pretty exciting, but what if we doubled that and we got to 1,000 visitors per day at a 30% conversion rate? That's 300 new subscribers per day, 9,000 per month, 108,000 per year. Those are numbers that you can start to get excited about. Those are numbers that can literally change your financial situation and your life forever. And just to give you an idea of what a list of 108,000 people would be worth in my personal experience, if you're focused on building a relationship of trust with those readers, and if you're focused on constantly delivering value to them, that's worth between $1 and $5 million a year in revenue to you. That's really what we're talking about here. So the question becomes, how do you get 1,000 visitors per day to your website? Well, it's simple. We do what every other real company in the world does. We buy it. We buy the traffic. Okay, we spend money on advertising. That's how you do it. So instead of just posting a link, to your capture page on Facebook and hoping someone's going to subscribe, let's say that you start using their advertising platform instead, so that your ads start to appear in the feeds of your ideal target audience. And let's say, as an example, that you spend $100 to test an ad which sends people to your capture page. That test ad produces 20 new email subscribers, which means, on average, that it costs you $5 per subscriber, okay, or CPL, or cost per lead in this example. So you spend $100 on a Facebook ad test, and you get 20 new email subscribers. All right, that's a $5 per lead cost. Now, if you did that every day for an entire month, you'd have around 600 new list subscribers, but you'd have spent $3,000 to acquire them. That's, a good start, but it's not going to work very well. You're going to go broke if you haven't gone broke already. So it's not going to work in the long run. The solution to this problem is called a self-liquidating offer, or an SLO for short. Now, this is usually a digital product of some kind that we can offer to our new list subscribers immediately, the moment that they sign up for our free email list. Now, for example, when I started selling magnetic sponsoring online 10 years ago, I gave away that free 7-day attraction marketing bootcamp series to people who subscribed to my list. And the moment that they opted in and gave me their email address, they were then taken to a sales page for the full magnetic sponsoring ebook, which sold for $39. And this is actually a screenshot of the very bottom of the page where I had the order button and the credit card and all of that good stuff for you right here so that you could see it. And so here's what this allowed me to do, and here's what this is going to allow you to do. Every day, you spend $100 on your Facebook ad campaign, and in return, you acquire 20 new email list subscribers. Now, when those 20 subscribers join your list, they're offered a chance to buy, let's say, an ebook for $40. So out of every 20 subscribers, 3 of them are going to, on average, buy your book. So $40 times 3 customers equals $120 in sales. Now, I don't know if you realized what just happened there, but it's a pretty big freaking deal. Congratulations, you are officially financially free. This is the key to the kingdom. This is how it works. This is the key to everything, okay? So you've spent $100, and for that $100, you've gotten 20 new list subscribers, 3 new customers, and you've generated $120 in revenue, which gives you a $20 profit, which means you are free, okay? So not only Are your leads free at this point, but you've gotten an extra 20 bucks in your pocket at the end of the day? All right, so now the rules of the game have changed completely, because when you spend money, you are now making money, okay? So what if you started spending more? What if you started spending $1,000 per day on advertising instead of 100? Well, you'd have 200 new list subscribers, 30 new customers, and $1,200 in revenue, giving you a $200 profit. All right, so if we add those numbers up for each month, that's 6,000 new list subscribers per month. If you're spending $1,000 a day on ads, you're getting 900 new customers a month, and you're getting $36,000 in revenue per month, which means you're making a $6,000 profit, and everything else is essentially paid for. This is what a real campaign looks like, guys. This is how marketing professionals build massive lists within months instead of years. This is how you can make money without having to use your money, because your customers are essentially funding the campaign. So hopefully this has started to light up a few ideas in your mind, but so far this has really all just been theory. So what I want to do now is show you how I used this same process last year to launch a simple lifestyle business in less than 30 days that went on to produce over $80,000 per month in passive income, all right? So last year, I decided to hand over control of my financial education company to my business partner, Robert, so that I could begin work on the development of the hydroponic system that I mentioned earlier. And I have to tell you, the cost of developing the prototype has been substantial. And in fact, the price is going to exceed well over $1 million. So I still needed a simple, profitable business that, one, would not take up a lot of my time, and two, still produce enough revenue to pay my bills and for the development of the hydroponic system. So my goal was to create a business that could produce at least $80,000 per month in profit. But there was a huge problem still standing in my way. It's one thing to build the list at a break-even cost with a self-liquidating offer, but if you want to build a list and make a substantial profit each month, you need 3 product offers. So I want you to write this down, because this is taking your business now to the next level. This is not just building a list for free. This is about building a list for free and making $1 million on top of that, all right? At least in my examples. So to build a really stable and profitable business while you grow your list, here's what you're going to need. First, you need a capture page, which we've already shown you and discussed. Second, you need an extremely high-value front-end product that's as inexpensive as possible. This product is not designed to make money. It's designed to turn a stranger into a paying customer for the very first time, and ideally a lifelong fan moving forward. The single most difficult job that you and I have as entrepreneurs is getting a new person to pull out their credit card and do business with us for the very first time. So this product is designed to deliver so much value and at such a low price that they can't walk away. They have to buy it. They would feel dumb if they didn't buy it. All right, so that's the point of a front-end product. The third thing that you need is at least one back-end product that's priced anywhere from $197 to $497, which is kind of the sweet spot, and that's going to allow you to cover your advertising costs. The majority of the money that is produced by the sale of this product will be put back into advertising campaigns and to cover your business's overhead, okay? So this is the money that fuels the advertising engine, if you will. And finally, the fourth thing that you need is monthly continuity income. This is passive income that comes in each and every month from a subscription service of some kind. That could be a monthly newsletter, that could be a mentoring program, a membership website, whatever it may be. And in the past, I've charged anywhere from $29 a month up to $97 a month for mine. And what this does is it adds revenue stability to your business. Without it, you're forced to constantly acquire new customers each and every month forever to fund your business and to make a profit. So this revenue can be considered 100% profit because you've already acquired the customer, and it's just going to continue to come in and month out as long as they subscribe to your service, all right? So these are the minimum components that are required, the minimum 3 products, if you will, the front end, the back end, and the monthly continuity, to create a well-rounded, stable, and profitable business. But holy smokes, that's a lot of work. You have to create a front-end product, you have to create a back-end product, and you have to create a monthly continuity program. There's no way that I could, let alone you guys, do all of this in 30 to 90 days. And even if you tried to do it, it would cost a few $1,000s minimum. and programming fees and website development and fulfillment and all of that stuff. Not to mention the fact that you can kiss that lifestyle business dream of yours absolutely goodbye, all right? Well, this was the exact same position that I found myself in a year ago. I needed to start a new business. That business needed all three of these components in order for it to be, profitable and to produce the kind of profit that I needed it to. And yet I didn't have the time to create this stuff, all right? Good thing is, necessity is the mother of all invention. So what I'm about to show you now is the most elegant business model that I have ever seen or personally used. If I were you, and if I was going to start a brand new business from scratch today, this is exactly what I would do, and it's what I did. So definitely pay attention to this. It's going to change the game for you. Now, my biggest source of personal value and expertise in the world is in entrepreneurship, and it's in online marketing. It's what I've done for the last 10 years of my life, and I'm one of the best in the world at it. So offering that knowledge and experience to others was the biggest source of value that I had to contribute and to offer to the world as a product or service. So I decided to start a mentoring program for new entrepreneurs, in this particular case study and example, called Live Free and Prosper, or as we called it at that time, LFP for short. And my goal with LFP was very simple. I was going to give my students the ability to ask me anything they wanted about their business, have me critique their websites, provide feedback on their business model, their pricing, their traffic, absolutely anything. And I was going to record my answers via video for everyone in that group to watch and to learn from. Okay, so that was the product, that was the service. Here's how I turned it into the business that I needed. I decided to create and sell access to a private community called LFP. And that community took literally 30 seconds to create, and it was completely free. All I did was head over to my Google profile and create a private community. And you can do literally the same thing on Facebook using a private Facebook group or in Google. Either way, you end up with a completely free and private membership community in less than 30 seconds. So the community was the product, and I have to say it was an extremely, extremely valuable one, much more valuable than a simple ebook or a course. This is where I would post my training content, answer questions from students, and where they could also interact and help each other. So at the end of the day, your customers, they obviously share a common interest. That's why they're with you. They share a common passion and they share common goals. They are a tribe, and every tribe needs a place where they can gather. They need a community. So this community idea was really, I realized, the perfect solution for that. And the result is a much more fulfilling, much more interactive and valuable experience that is not only for you, but for your members as well, because they get to interact with everybody else and start to build friends and help each other. So that was part number one to this solution. Now, obviously, I need a front-end product, something that had incredible value and that was at a price that could not be refused. So what I did was create a sales video that told people all about LFP and then offered them the opportunity to try it out completely risk-free for 7 days for $1. They would literally get access to the entire community and all of the training content that I'd already posted in there for $1. And if it exceeded their expectations, and they didn't want to cancel their membership, they would be billed $37 on day 8 and continue at $37 per month until they decided to cancel. So I've taken one product and I've used a pricing strategy to check the boxes for, first, an irresistible offer on the front end and a monthly continuity program. You can see how I've already checked both of those boxes here with just a pricing strategy. That left me with one box left to check, which was a back-end product. Again, that was priced anywhere from $197 to $497. So here's what I did next. If someone stayed for an entire year at $37 per month, their membership would cost them a total of $444. So once they entered their payment information and confirmed their purchase of the $1 trial for 7 days, they were taken to a page which gave them a one-time offer. So if they would commit to joining the LFP mentoring program for a full year, they could do so right now for one single payment of $297, which represented a savings of 33%. So let's summarize this really quick because it's nothing short of revolutionary in my opinion. We've created a complete 3-part business model, which would normally take us 6 to 12 months to build, and we did it for free in a single day. All right? I would provide my time and expertise to my students in the form of a weekly video, which takes me about 3 hours to record, edit, and upload to YouTube, which means from a lifestyle perspective, that's amazing. It leaves me plenty of time to go work on my hydroponics business and everything else that I was doing. And I didn't have to write an ebook. I didn't have to record a DVD series. I didn't have to build an expensive website or spend months writing a 500-page back-end course. The testimonials that were sent in from the initial batch of members were the best that I've ever received because people felt that they were a part of a real community, and the value, frankly, was amazing. And I was able to take that one product and create a total 3-part business model with all the pieces: a low-cost front end, a monthly continuity income, and a back-end piece of revenue by simply offering it at 3 different price points. So that leaves us with the most important question that there is today, which is, did it work? Well, let's take a look at the actual numbers. So when you start a new advertising campaign, it's important to start slowly to test its effectiveness. So for about 7 to 10 days, we were spending $100 to $200 per day to see what our conversion rates would be. Once we saw that they were profitable, we started to crank that Facebook ad campaign up as high as we could. And the numbers that I'm about to show you are for a 7-day period from February 19th through February 26th of last year. All of these stats and sales are from my Facebook advertising campaign, and none of these sales came from my existing list. That's very important. I'm using this example for this reason. You most likely don't have a list right now, okay? So this is not really relevant to you if it's me promoting something to my list when you don't have a list. So I want you to pay attention to this example because this whole campaign was done without using my existing list. It was done using cold Facebook ad traffic, just like you can start using next week, okay? So like I said, we started small. We started spending about $100 per day testing conversion rates. It was positive, so we started to turn it up. Here's what happened. During the campaign, we spent a total of $24,551 in a 7-day period. That's what we spent on ads. Now, what did we get for that spend? Well, we got 2,737 new list subscribers and 760 new customers. Out of those 760 customers, 128 of them, about 17%, took the annual upsell option for $297, which produced an immediate return of $38,016 immediately in those first 7 days, okay? So that means I'd created 632 monthly subscribers at $37 per month moving forward. That represents $24,016 in monthly passive income, which would start at the end of that week on the 8th day of their trial, okay? So that means that we spent $24,500 on advertising. We made $38,000 immediately on the annual memberships, giving us a profit that week of $13,465. That's in a week, that's not in a month. And a new monthly income of $24,000 per month moving forward. Remember, these stats are just from the first 7 days of the ad campaign. So what happened after that? Well, by the 3rd month of the business, we'd acquired over 2,248 monthly members, and my monthly passive income had increased to over $85,000 per month. Annually, that's over $1 million in passive income. And all I have to do is work about 3 to 5 hours per week, guys. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do it. This is how you build a large list quickly. This is how you get paid to do it in the process instead of spending money out of your pocket. This is how you change your financial destiny within 2 to 3 months instead of 2 to 3 years. And this is how you provide an incredible amount of value to the marketplace all at the same time in the simplest business that I've ever seen or come across before. So what I've just shown you is the exact same system and strategy that I've used time and time again to turn my biggest problems and passions into the ultimate lifestyle business. And as you can see, it is not rocket science, but boy, is it effective, all right? This is the simplest, the easiest, the fastest way that I know of to build a large list and a profitable business that I've ever seen in my 10-year career as an entrepreneur. And obviously you can see that it works really, really well. So in order to achieve financial freedom in your life, you need to build a list. I hope that's obvious by now. And in order to build a large list quickly, you need to buy traffic and the attention of people out there in the world by spending money on advertising. The best way to buy advertising is to let your customers fund the campaign by offering them a valuable product or service. And the fastest and easiest high-value product that I have ever seen is access to a private paid community where you can deliver your value, your interaction, and help your tribe and have fun all in one place. So what do you do next? Where do you go from here now that you have seen this model? You've seen what it can do from a revenue standpoint, and you've seen how easy it is to set up. Well, I'm going to assume that this has made a lot of sense to you today, and that this is a business and a list building strategy that you would like to start using immediately. But I'm also going to assume that you'd prefer to have some help with the process rather than me just slapping you on the butt and saying, hey, good luck, go get him, Tiger. So here's what we can do. A couple of weeks ago, I finished putting together a click-by-click implementation program that I call ListGrow. And this implementation program is specifically designed to help you build your first list and create a profitable lifestyle business from scratch using the exact same method that I just showed you today. So if you want to build your first big email list and audience around your biggest passion, if you want to build your list without spending a ton of money out of your pocket, if you want to become a trusted and respected authority in your market, and if you want to create the kind of simple lifestyle business that can take your current annual income and turn that into your monthly income, then this program is specifically for you. So here's how we're going to do it. The ListGrow implementation program is broken down into 4 modules. Module number 1 is niche selection. So even if you don't have a business idea, we're going to get into that. And I'm going to get into these modules here in detail in just a couple of minutes. Module number 2 is about lead capture and list growth. Module number 3 is monetization. And module number 4 is long-term relationship and business development. So here's what you're going to get when you join. So ListGrow, I keep using the word, is an implementation program. So by the time that we're done with it, you will have a finished list building system and community in the niche of your choice. And that's possible because this isn't your typical training course where someone tells you what to do and then leaves you confused and wondering how to actually do it. The videos that I've created for you in ListGrow are literally recordings of my computer screen as I walk you through the entire creation of your list building business step by step and click by click. This is not theory or instruction. This is about implementation and execution. So together, we're going to start at the very beginning and we're going to go through the entire process. So in module number 1, I'm going to help you select the right niche to build your business in and build your list in, based on your biggest passion or problem in life right now. And we're going to do this using the same proven method that I have personally used over the past 10 years to come up with the ideas for both of my companies, which have produced more than $25 million each in revenue. So if you're incredibly excited about the business model that I showed you today, but you're not quite sure what niche to use it in, don't worry about it. This is the very first thing that we're going to cover in the program. Now, on the other hand, if you already have a business and you just want to build a massive audience and list, then that's totally perfect. You're already ahead of the curve. And once we have your niche selected, then I'm going to take you through every single step from the very beginning all the way to the end. And a great example of that is, first and foremost, I'm going to show you how to log into GoDaddy and purchase the right domain for your new business. And I'm even going to show you how to set up your very own personal email address like I have at mike@mikedillard.com. Next, in module number 2, I'm going to help you create your entire list building marketing funnel so that you can start to generate list subscribers as soon as humanly possible. Now, we're going to start with that free value offer that you'll be giving away on your capture page in exchange for your visitor's email address. And again, that could be a free report, an ebook, a training series, a video, or even a free sample of a physical product. And this is one of the most important steps in the entire process. So I'm going to show you how to come up with the perfect free offer for your particular market and audience to ensure that you have a capture page that converts cold traffic into new list subscribers at a conversion rate of at least 30%, like the example that we had today. Next up, I'm going to show you how to create your very own capture page that converts ideally at 30% or much higher using the same point and click software that I use. And when I say show you, I literally mean you're going to watch over my shoulder as I log into my account and create a brand new capture page from scratch, step by step, right before your eyes. You can literally watch me click where I click and recreate the exact same page for your business within minutes. All right, once we have your very first capture page completed, I'm going to show you how to set up the most important part of any marketing campaign, which is your very first split test. So split tests are what we as marketers do to constantly increase our conversion rates. This is very, very easy to do, but if you skip this step, your entire marketing campaign is literally doomed to fail. It will not succeed. So if you've attempted to purchase ads on Facebook in the past and you didn't get the results that you wanted, well, this is most likely why. Now, the good news is that I'm not going to let that happen to you again. So in ListGrow, I'm going to show you which parts of your capture page to split test and in which order to test them in order to maximize your results. Next up, I'm going to show you how to set up your MailChimp account. You're going to watch over my shoulder as we create your very first email template for your newsletters. I'm going to teach you my tricks for writing the best subject lines, the best headlines, and how to make sure your emails actually reach your subscribers' inbox and get read, because obviously that matters really more than anything. And by the way, on the same token, how often should you actually email your readers and what should you say? This is obviously one of the most important parts of this puzzle that you need to know, because building an email list isn't going to do you a lot of good if you don't know how to build a relationship with the people on that list and eventually market your products and services to your subscribers. So in this section of ListGrow, I'm actually going to tell you exactly what I do, and I'm even going to give you a collection of my best emails so that you can model them. And when I say my best emails, I mean I'm going to give you copies of the actual emails that I've sent during my promotions, which have produced millions of dollars in sales. And in fact, just one series of emails you're going to get is the one that made over $3.2 million in 7 days in the example that I gave you earlier. So I'm going to give you copies of all of those emails. You cannot find them anywhere else. They're not online. These are the personal emails that I sent to my subscribers during that particular promotion. So this is the only place that you will ever have an opportunity to see them. All right, once we have all of the list building components of your business set up, we're going to dive into Module 3 and set up your product or the revenue generating side of your business. Now, you're going to do this using that exact same 3-part business model that I showed you earlier in today's webinar that I used for LFP. Now, once again, we're going to walk through the entire process step by step with click-by-click videos so that you can follow along with me, and we're going to create every part of your system together at the same time. First, I'm going to show you how to set up your private community using Google or Facebook so that you can create a valuable home for your customers. I'm even going to show you how and where to get a great logo created so your business will look, frankly, like $1 million. It'll look professional and better than any other potential competitors that you might have out there. I'm even going to show you how and where to get a great logo created so that your business will look awesome and look amazing. And this is the same place and the same method that I use to get all of my business logos created. Now, once your private community is set up, I'm going to show you how to create the 3 pages that you'll need to market and sell your product. This is your sales page, your checkout page, where they'll enter their credit card and payment information, and your upsell page for the annual membership offer that I showed you earlier. Now, fortunately, there is some brand new software out there that will allow you to create the exact same funnel that we need, complete with a $1 trial, a monthly subscription service, and an annual upsell with just a few clicks of your mouse. There's no programming required. It is so simple, in fact, that I have converted my entire business over to this software after using it during ListGrow for this training series for you. I absolutely fell in love with it, and this is literally what I'm using now for all of my stuff. Now, one of the biggest single challenges that brand new entrepreneurs face is the ability to accept credit cards, which is something that you obviously need to be able to do. And if you have a great credit history and you have a history as a good merchant in the past, it can still take weeks to do that in the best case scenario. Now, on the other hand, if you're brand new or if you have a low credit score, it can be incredibly difficult to get a merchant account. Well, I have really good news for you in the fact that I've recently found a new merchant company that will allow anyone to create their first merchant account within 2 minutes and without a credit check. So you'll be able to accept Visa cards, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express payments, just like every other major retailer, without having to go through the traditional and very lengthy merchant application process. And not only that, but this merchant provider integrates directly into our new shopping cart platform with 1 click. So they're built to work together right from the start. It's absolutely amazing. Now, moving forward, if you're not exactly sure what kind of product or service you should provide to your new tribe and your customers, don't worry about that. We'll talk about this extensively in the program, and I'm going to make sure that you can deliver an experience that will provide an overwhelming amount of value to your customers and that you can be proud of. All right, so next up, we're going to dive into the most important part of this entire process, and that is the creation of your sales letter or your sales video. At the end of the day, your marketing campaigns will only be as effective as your sales copy. And fortunately, this is my strongest skill set, so you are in the best hands possible. Writing advertisements and sales letters that convert cold traffic into paying customers, it's an art and it's a science. And there is a 10-part formula that I'm going to give you as a part of the program. And this formula is the backbone behind every sales presentation that I've ever created. In other words, it works. And I mean, it really works. So I'm going to give you that formula, but I'm not going to stop there. For the very first time, I'm also going to give you a fill-in-the-blank 25-part template for an entire sales letter. All you need to do is fill in the blanks with the information about your business, and you will have the makings of an incredibly effective sales piece. And get this, I took my magnetic sponsoring sales letter, the one that's been responsible for over $25 million in revenue, and as you go through this template, I pulled out the parts from my magnetic letter that correspond to each particular piece to show you as an example. So not only do you get to go through the entire template and to go through all 25 steps, but you're going to see the parts taken directly from my letters as examples in each step so that you can model them as you go. And in fact, that's one of the most important pieces and valuable parts about this program. One of the best ways to create a sales letter and a sales presentation that converts traffic into customers is to model existing letters that are proven to work. So I'm going to give you transcripts of my most successful sales letters and videos. In fact, I'm going to give you the actual script to my LFP sales video from our case study earlier that produced over $1 million in sales in its first year. Okay, so you're going to get that actual sales presentation that goes through the pricing strategy that we're going to use, the 3-part pricing strategy that goes through the community. And you're literally just going to be able to change, you have my permission to change my text to fit your business and your product and your model, and boom, like it's basically almost done for you. You just have to customize it for your product and your service. So I'm going to give that to you as well. In addition to that, I'm going to give you the entire magnetic sponsoring sales letter that I just mentioned earlier where I broke it out into pieces. Well, I'm going to give you the whole letter so that you can see the exact same thing all in one piece. Now, as I mentioned earlier, promoting other people's products as an affiliate is an incredibly easy and effective way to provide valuable solutions to your readers. So I'm going to teach you how to do this as well by giving you a full breakdown of the Mark Ford promotion that I showed you earlier. So you're going to get copies of all 4 emails that produced over $419,000 in commissions in less than a week so that you can study them and apply the same strategy to your promotions when you start to hold them as you build your list. All right, and finally in module number 4, I'm going to give you the biggest lessons that I've learned over the past 10 years when it comes to building your brand, building a stellar reputation in your market, and how to maximize and maintain the relationship with your list so that you can turn all of your future endeavors into an overnight success, just like I did with the podcast. So essentially, I'm going to show you how to build an asset for life so that you will never, ever have to start over from scratch again. Now, hopefully, as you can see, this is the most comprehensive program that I have ever created. I have never once in the last 10 years attempted to do a click-by-click training program where I take someone through the very beginning of the process from coming up your idea and getting your domain name registered all the way through to the end to where every single click is recorded. But that's what I wanted to do for ListGrow, and that's what I've done. So everything that you need to build your first big list and a profitable business is covered with click-by-click video tutorials. So it's an unbelievable, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, to be quite honest with you. So at that point, you're probably wondering, well, that sounds amazing, Mike, but this sounds expensive. So what about the price? How much is this going to cost? So obviously, that's a great question. And I want you to understand that ListGrow is not a training course. I'm not going to send you a binder, over to your house with 500 pages to read. This is a step-by-step business implementation program that should take you about 60 to 90 days to complete, depending upon how diligent you are. And by the time you're done with it, you should have a complete and functional list-based business in the niche of your choice, just like the one that I showed you today. And that's a business where you can literally generate cash on demand by sending out a few emails and where there's no limit on your income potential. A business where you can work whenever you want and from wherever you want. And as your list grows, so will your influence, so will your impact, and so will your legacy. So in my humble opinion, after making more than $50 million using this business model, this is the single best business that you can pursue in the world. And the sooner you get started building your list and building that business, the better. So there are two ways that I can help you do that starting today. Option number one is that I can personally teach you, which means that you can hire me for one-on-one consulting and I can walk you through the entire process personally. And I do have to tell you that I charge $2,500 per hour for my time. And no, that's not just a number that I made up. That's literally what I charge. And in fact, here is a screenshot of a $10,000 wire from a very successful marketer who purchased 4 one-hour consulting calls from me. So this is literally what I get paid for. And it's going to take us around 40 hours to walk you through the entire setup process for your list business, which means that it's going to cost you about $100,000 to set up the business if you want me to help you personally do that. That is not the option that I would take, even if you could afford to do it. Why? Well, because what I'm going to tell you to do over the phone or through Skype is the exact same thing that I'm going to show you how to do in the List Grow program. And don't get me wrong, if you want to pay me $100,000 to walk you through this, it's really up to you. And frankly, it would be worth it. But I think that you're going to find that the List Grow training videos will be even more effective and a fraction of the price. So that brings us to option number 2, which is to obviously join List Grow and to let me walk you through the entire implementation process online. So instead of paying me $100,000 for my personal time, you're going to get immediate access to more than 20 step-by-step, click-by-click videos that will literally walk you through the entire list building and business building process. By the time you reach the last video, you will have a complete list building, revenue generating business in any industry you want, all right? So this is not a course. You're basically buying a business if you do the work. Now, the price to access the entire List Grow program at MikeDillard.com, if you were going to go over to my site and buy that today, is just $2,997, which is ideally much better than $100,000. And when you consider that you walk away with an entire business for just a few $100s more than a single hour of my time, I'm sure that you would agree that that is exceedingly fair. But here's the deal. This is the last training program that I ever plan to produce as I move on to run and grow my hydroponics business. And my biggest thrill in life is getting letters from students like you who've gone through my work and who've used it to change their lives. It is an unbelievable privilege and a high that I really appreciate. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. If you are willing to invest in yourself today, I am willing to invest in you. So I'm going to take $1,000 out of my pocket and I'm going to invest that in you and your future success with List Grow as a student. And frankly, the fact that you're still here watching this webinar over an hour later shows me a couple things. First and foremost, that you're actually serious about acquiring this knowledge. And second, that you have a real desire to master this skill set and to use it to change your life. So right now during this webinar, I'm going to put that $1,000 towards your tuition, which brings the price down to just $1,997. And to put that into perspective, you just saw me use this strategy to launch a new business and make over $24,000 per month in the first 7 days. And you saw that income increase to over $86,000 per month in less than 90 days. So obviously, investing $2,000 into List Grow so that you can acquire this skill set is a no-brainer. It's just a life-changing opportunity that, frankly, someone I think would be silly to pass up. So with that being said, there is one small catch. The $1,000 discount is only good for the next hour. So why? Why is that? Well, because decisiveness is a trait shared by all successful entrepreneurs. And simply put, you cannot build a business while sitting on a fence. I want you to get off the fence, and I want you to decide to change your future, and I want you to take action. So this is my incentive to you and my reward for you for doing so. All right, so here is what to do next. So just below this video, you're going to notice that a large button has just appeared to join List Grow, and I want you to go ahead and click that right now. You can go ahead and click it. It's not going to end the webinar for you. It's going to open up that page in a brand new window, so you can look at this at the same time that I'm talking about it. And you'll notice that that is the registration page where you can fill out your payment information to take the course. and that it is fully encrypted and completely safe, so you don't have to worry about anything in that regard. So go ahead and fill that out either right now while we're talking or whenever you want. Just make sure you do it before the 60-minute timer runs out for your $1,000 discount. And then after you fill out the registration form and you hit submit, you're going to be taken to a page where you're going to get your login instruction for the List Grow members area. So just enter your name, your username, and a password that will have been sent to you via email. And that's it. You will have instant access to the entire course so that you can literally start building your business today, tonight, and go through the entire process as fast as you want. So watch the welcome video to get started. It's the very first video in the members area. And you are officially considered at that point on your way to building your first large email list and audience, and what is ideally going to be a very profitable business for you. And by the way, make sure you forward your receipt that comes to you via email to your CPA, because ListGrow is a tax-deductible business expense under the continuing education category. So make sure that you do that. That'll ideally save you another 30 to 40% off of the program in tax savings. Now, in addition to the $1,000 discount that you can take advantage of for the next hour, I want to make this a completely safe decision for you when you join today, and I want it to have no risk whatsoever. So I'm going to do something pretty unbelievable here. I'm going to guarantee your satisfaction with ListGrow, not one, not two, but in 3 different ways. Or in other words, I'm going to give you a triple guarantee that is absolutely unprecedented. First and foremost, I'm going to take the traditional 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'm going to throw that out the window. So instead of 30 days, I'm going to give you a full 180 days to go through the entire ListGrow program completely risk-free. That is a full 6 months. So why 6 months? Well, that brings us to the second part of the guarantee that I'm going to give you, which is truly unprecedented. So if you follow all of the steps and complete the program, and you don't have a fully functional list building and revenue generating business that has allowed you to build a list of at least 5,000 subscribers by the end of that 6-month period, I will give you a full, no questions asked refund. Okay? I've never seen anyone else willing to do anything like that before, but we're going to do that here today for you, and I'm going to take it even further. So here is the third part of my promise to you. If ListGrow does not live up to your expectations, and if you do not have a list of at least 5,000 email subscribers within the next 6 months, not only will I give you a full refund, but I'm willing to send you a real check for an additional $100 just to thank you for giving me the opportunity to help you reach your goals of becoming financially free. In other words, I am literally willing to put my money where my mouth is. Now, with that being said, you can't just join ListGrow today and then request a refund tomorrow in order to get that $100, and you can't order the program multiple times to get multiple checks for $100. Frankly, that would be dishonest and basically theft. So if I suspect any kind of shenanigans or that you're trying to take advantage of my intention and my generosity, I do reserve the right to rescind that offer. But if you build your business exactly as I'm going to show you how to do in the training videos, and if you don't have a list of at least 5,000 subscribers within the next 180 days, then I will honor that request and I will send you a check for an additional $100 in addition to the 100% refund of your purchase price of the program. So there is no way you can lose here. Either way, you win. Either you walk away with a complete list growing business based on your biggest passion in life and your first 5,000 list subscribers, or you walk away with a full refund plus an additional $100 in your pocket just for giving it a try. And that's still not all. I'm going to go one step further. In addition to the $1,000 discount that I'm offering you today and my triple guarantee, I'm also going to give you another bonus. Obviously, one of the most important parts of your new business will be traffic. So I'm going to hold an exclusive training session to show you how to set up your very first Facebook advertising campaign, just like the one that I used to acquire those 760 LFP customers in a week. And in addition to that training video, I'm also going to give you the contact information for the 2 do-it-for-you agencies that I have personally used to run all of my traffic campaigns. So if that's something that has been a challenge for you or a source of stress in the past, this is your opportunity to work with some of the best in the industry so that you will never have to worry about traffic again. All right, so let's recap really quick. When you join ListGrow today, you will be immediately enrolled in the full ListGrow implementation program, where you'll have instant access within the next few minutes to the entire members area. The entire program is unlocked for you. You can go through the entire thing as fast as you want. And that is going to allow you to create your very own list growing business based around your biggest passion, just like the one I created for LFP. You get a no questions asked, 100% money back guarantee that's been extended from 30 days to 180 days so that you can go through the entire program without any risk whatsoever. During that period, you'll get everything that you need to build your first list of at least 5,000 new email subscribers, or I will give you your money back. If ListGrow doesn't meet your expectations during that period, and if you don't have a list of at least 5,000 subscribers, I'm willing to also give you a check for an additional $100 out of my pocket just to say thank you for giving ListGrow a chance. On top of that, I'm also going to give you my traffic bonus, which is a 5th module on Facebook advertising that will show you how to set up your own Facebook ad campaign. And I'm also going to introduce you to the agencies that I use to run all of my personal campaigns so that you will never have to worry about getting traffic to your capture pages again. And finally, when you join today, before the deadline expires here on this page, I'm going to give you that $1,000 discount off the price, which is an instant savings of 33%. You can come back and go to my webpage at MikeDillard.com and buy ListGrow tomorrow or later today, but the price will be full and you'll miss out on that $1,000 discount. So don't do that. You have no reason to with that crazy, insane guarantee that I've offered you here today. So as you can see, there's literally no way you can lose here. All you need to do at this point is click the Add to Cart button below to get started, fill out the registration form, and you'll be in the program. You can get started right here today, and you have my triple guarantee to back you up. Ladies and gentlemen, you've watched this entire presentation. You made it through the entire way. You know that building a list is the single best way to create a lucrative and rewarding lifestyle business, as I've shown you today. And it is definitely clear that ListGrow will show you exactly how to do that. So I would like to officially and finally invite you one last time to participate in the ListGrow implementation program so that you can start building your list and your tribe and change your life in the process. I've made sure this is a completely safe decision for you to make without any risk whatsoever. So click the link below right now to get started, and I am looking forward to helping you build your list. And if for any reason there is any doubt at all left for you whatsoever, I would like to just leave you with a couple of testimonials and some user feedback from current ListGrow students here over the next couple of minutes so that you can hear from them directly and about their experience in the program. So once again, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you learned a ton from this webinar, and even more, I hope you join us here in ListGrow so that I can help you change your life. Thank you so much, and just click the link below to get started right now, and you'll be in the program, and I'll see you on the inside. Take care.
Dreaming wide awake, this is the life I make. I don't need a holiday to make me feel this way. Listen up, take a chance, you can sing, you can dance, you can live like there's no tomorrow. Give it time and you'll find there's a rule, there's a rhyme, move along and the rest will follow. we shine like stars. We shine like stars. We shine. But here we go now. We shine like stars. We shine like stars. We shine like stars. We shine. Oh yeah, we shine like stars. Oh yeah, we shine like stars. Like stars. I'm dreaming wide awake. This is the life I make. I don't need a holiday to make me feel this way. Listen up, take a chance. You can sing, you can dance, you can live like there's no tomorrow. Give it time and you'll find there's a groove, there's a rhyme. Move along and the rest will follow.